So I just finished season 2 of One Punch Man, and I was told that like you enjoy season 1 so much, you're not gonna enjoy season 2 as much. And first thoughts, I was like, yeah, you know, we'll see what happens. People keep giving me their ideas of what of season 2 of One Punch Man was. The animation changed, this happens, that happened. You're not gonna enjoy it as much. And I'm like, you know what? Let me check it out for myself. And within a whole span of 2 days, I finished season 2 of One Punch Man, and I still want more of this anime. I want so much more that I might go pick the manga up, but I'm about to get on a train wreck tangent. So let's go ahead and jump into today's review of One Punch Man season 2. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdown Series Review. I'm your host, Ali Zakka, and what's Movie Breakdown Series Review? It's a movie review series about TV shows, anime, movie series, movie episodes, seasons, whatever the case may be. It's pretty much anything that has multiple stories, multiple segments of something. Give each one a grade A through L, plus or minus through count. At the end of all, we get a compilation grade, A through L, plus or minus through count. A series I've done that for is This Is England. I've done it for Hunter x Hunter. So check that out. Enjoy. Now, let's get into today's review of One Punch Man, but I'm still getting ahead of myself because if there's a series you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it the best I can. Also, if you have Patreon, sign up for my Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka. We can jump in front of everybody, and wherever you ask me to review, I do it like that immediately because you're paying for my service. Only $2 a month, but you cut it in front of everybody. So therefore you don't have to wait until it comes out on YouTube or Facebook. You get it right then and there. So that's the perks of Patreon. Also, you get other stuff such as trade reaction, trade review, first thoughts, much more stuff on Patreon. Patreon/Ali Zakka. Now, let's officially get into today's episode, One Punch Man Season 2. And this is a spoiler review, so you haven't seen Season 2, go watch it and then come back and get your feel of thoughts and opinions from me on One Punch Man Season 2. And what is this season's about? It's a continuation from Season 1. Saitama already been established in Season 1. You already know who he is, you know what he's about. Everybody in the world doesn't know who he is, but this season kind of gets him a little more out into the limelight. People start recognizing him a little bit more. He actually has a nickname that you hear about, Cape Baldy. But it's about a guy who is hunting down heroes, and Saitama and the rest of the Hero Association is pretty much trying to stop him. But while they're trying to stop that guy, another group of villains appear to be a distraction or become the new focal point in this season. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much Hunter x Hunter Season 2. They're fighting the guy who calls himself the Hero Hunter, and then while he's trying to fight them, or while the association is trying to fight the Hero Hunter, a new league of villains pop up. That sounds so much more like My Hero Academia Season 2 and 3. Wow. That's similar to My Hero Academia. Literally the same plot points are there. However, My Hero Academia, My Hero Academia, the Hero Hunter in there becomes more of an inspiration to villains versus the Hero Hunter and One Punch Man just having to be there and everybody trying to stop him. But then the League of Villains appear, or the Monster Association, ain't the League of Villains, the Monster Association, as they call themselves, a Hunter or One Punch Man Season 2, appears and becomes the new focal point that distracts the heroes from the Hero Hunter. But yeah, that's it. And as far as animation, I didn't mind the animations. Now I would say this season, Season 1, they did the jokey animation drawing to show like boredom or show an expression of Saitama, or how Tornado, to show her like being childish in a sense. But in this episode or this season, they just kind of threw it in there for random laughs. Like there's a scene where Saitama's fighting Blizzard and she throws him away in a sense, like toss him around, and he goes into the cartoony drawing of him versus a serious, as somebody else call it, budget increase drawing of Saitama. Like he went to the cartoony version and you see like, oh, okay, they just throwing it in there for jokes or because it's One Punch Man and it's more of a comedy anime with little seriousness. But it's that part of it, like, okay, I see it, and then like I see why the animation, like why people don't like it as much, because it just tosses in there. It's not really therefore a expression to show like, oh, Saitama is actually, you know, bored of this, or he's doing this reaction because he's just like, versus like, oh, well, let's just show him getting tossed around. Let's do the little cartoon drawing version of him versus the serious drawing of him. And that's something I noticed. Also, another part is that as far as Saitama, it's the same thing in season 1. You have where he's still trying to find the strongest person to fight, and like it drags up when you know bad stuff is happening to people. Genos can't hold his weight. Everybody else is getting destroyed, and Saitama just taking his sweet time getting to the fight to end it. Like we've seen that in season 1, but yet we get it again in season 2. And I feel like in season 2, because you've already seen that plot point play out, and you've seen it done, getting it all over again, you're like, all right, cool. Let's get Saitama in this. While we're dragging this out, let's get Saitama in this. And I would say that's another thing that hurts me. And the particular moment I'm thinking of is the martial arts tournament where the number 1 strongest person in the world is like breaking down. Like he's like, I can't win. Somebody help. I need a hero to save me. And Saitama disappears. Saitama was in the tournament. He disappears. I'm guessing a lot of time has passed since Saitama left the tournament. But when the monsters was attacking, which almost seemed like simultaneously after the match was over and they had the championship, you know, showcase, it just seemed like Saitama was gone forever, which is like, where did he go? It doesn't say anything. It literally, he even says like, sorry it took so long to get here, but like, where did you go? You were just there. Just there. So I didn't like that, how they dragged out a bunch of pieces unnecessarily, but I did like the introduction of the character Garo, who is pretty much like, he wants the villains to win, but not because he cared about good or evil, because the villain always loses. And you know, the villain worked their hardest, the monster, or not even the villain, but the monsters. The monster worked their hardest to protect what they have, and heroes come in and beat them up and get cheered, while the monster, who was minding his own business, got jumped. And I like Garo's backstory on why he became a villain, why he wants to be a villain. Like his storyline this season is done so well, and it's done to the point where you're like, okay, I wish we could have got more of you, and I'm excited to get more of him if the season 3 comes around, or if I go read the manga. But Garo was a good bright spot in season 2. Genos is, he's there. It's not really his season, it's really Garo's season, to be honest. As far as other characters, you do get more heroes. And I do like how this season shows you that the heroes are not as clean-cut good guys as you think they are. There are times where they're just killing monsters or willing to take a risk and kill a human, and people are like, you're a hero, like, why are you doing this? And they're like, we have to get the job done regardless of the situation. And it almost shows like the heroes in a bad light, and almost feel like Garo's like kind of right in a sense where like the heroes are just, you know, throwing caution to the wind, and I'm going to do what I need to do to get the job done, versus being more like, no, like justice for all, no matter what, we don't take a life. I do like that in this season. I do like that construct of that, like the line between good and evil is really blurred, and Garo plays that role so much. You know, he wants to be a monster, he's not a bad person. And every person he fought, he didn't kill, he just knocked them out. That is kind of interesting take there. But yet he's also being a jerk though. But yet he meets a kid and he doesn't harm the kid at all. Like a monster would have harmed the kid or try to eat the kid, and Garl's just like, oh, cool kid. I want to see that book. Can I have the book? No? Okay, cool. So there's some bright spots in season 2. In the music is still just as good. Animation's not as strong in season 1, but I still got goosebumps from Garl's fighting the final fight in season 2. And I did enjoy a lot of the details and drawings and colors. Now the computer animation, the CGI that gets tossed in this season, I'm not a fan of. It stands out, but what year this came out? 2019? I was sitting there testing it. It could be, it's been done better. CGI has been done better in 2D animation, but it's fine. It's fine for the most part. It will make you like look twice, but I think you'll get used to it. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about the characters, and I want to talk about the fact that there is a new animation that does it. So the reason why people like the animation is different in season 1 and season 2 because it is a new animation studio. JC's staff is the one who animated the season 2, and it wasn't really that noticeable. Like people will look at season 1 and season 2 and think like, oh my gosh, complete drastic difference. No, it just in season 2 JC staff did more of the cartoony drawings for characters, and that's pretty much the difference. Like, it's not as serious as season 1. The fights are still just as solid. The tension between characters is just as solid. So I don't think it's that big of a jump that people made it sound like. The opener is just as good. Well, the opener, it's one of those openers you listen to over and over again. It grows on you. Season 1 opener is solid. Season 2 opener is just as fun. It's called The Uncrowned Greatest Hero. I enjoyed the season 2 opener song. I didn't mind it. Characters here. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, of course, you got Saitama. Saitama in season 2, he's still the same guy in season 1. He is someone who wants to challenge himself, who wants a good fight, and he hears about this hero hunter, and he's like, okay, hero hunter sounds like a good challenge. He's taking out heroes. Let me go find him and fight him. He's a martial artist. I'm jumping this martial art tournament, and for the most part, he's still just him, a guy who's kind of like a hero for fun, and he sees any injustice, he's stepping up to fight it. He doesn't care about your thoughts and opinions. He doesn't care about cliques. He doesn't care about groups, and he just doing him. That's all he is. And if something's happened, we see somebody who can't defend himself getting jumped, he's stepping in there and say, hey, no, I'm going to save this person. That's what the hero does. Like, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Cool guy. He does drop some wisdom of nuggets, but then he has a moment where he gets agitated because he's trying to fight the strongest person, but he can't find somebody to challenge him. And King, who is a new character that get introduced, who is being bestowed the strongest man alive because of the fact that he's been around Saitama. When stuff happens, Saitama bumps into King or saves King and leaves. And when King comes to, he sees that like monsters are the shore or whatever the case may be. But because Saitama's the one who saved it, King gets Saitama's credit and gets deemed as the strongest man alive. You know, he's complete fraud. And King has an episode, it's an episode where King pretty much gives Saitama like a heart-to-heart moment, and it's really good. And Saitama's like, man, that was good, man. That helped out a lot. Like, he has his moments. Saitama has his ups and downs, but for the most part, he's the character who changes the world around him, and by him just being him. But like as far as being influenced by the world influence him, it's really Saitama just goes through life. Let's talk about King. King is a character that gets introduced in season 1, but you see him. Actually, in season 1, does he show up? I think he's missing it. No, he's there. He says he recognized Saitama. I gotta go back and watch it. But at the end of season 1, I believe King is there but doesn't do much, or he disappears at the end of the fight. But in season 2, you get to see him and Saitama interact. And in season 1, King, who everybody's afraid of, they think he's this badass character. In reality, is a fraud, and Saitama befriends him, and he's just pretty much there as a checkpoint for Saitama so he doesn't lose himself. King's a cowardly character, but he also gives Saitama a chance to relax and just not take everything too seriously. I enjoy King. Thought he was good there to be that good friend, not as serious person to Saitama. Then we have Genos. Genos is same character from season 1. He doesn't understand what Saitama is really trying to teach him. He feel like every time he loses, he needs to go get more additions or body pieces to make him faster, stronger. And he's not understanding the lesson of like, to get stronger, you have to put your own will and hard work into it. He's an android, so no matter how hard he pushes himself, he doesn't have a limit as of right now. So he gets more technology to add to make him stronger, but he keeps losing because he's not actually challenging himself. It's his power is being given to him versus actually like him working for it. And season 2 is more evident. Like even Blizzard, who comes into season 2, and you get to see her, she's like, why's all these people around him? And all around, I should say, him as in Saitama. And Genos says because Saitama is strong. In reality, it's not the case. Saitama is just somebody who doesn't look down on anybody. It's not because he's strong. He worked hard to get there, and he worked for it. That's how he became strong. But really, everybody's around Saitama because of who he is and the fact that he doesn't judge who you are. So people just flock to him. Genos, on the other hand, he's so wrapped up in getting stronger that he just feel like he can add any additions or technology to him, and therefore it's been a clutch to him versus him actually going out and training his butt off like Saitama did to get that strength, to get the mental willpower. He's just pretty much getting additions added onto him. I'm curious to see where Genos' character goes in the future. At this point, he's a guy who will get in and fight, but pretty much he might lose in the end, or he gets destroyed in the end, and Saitama comes in to save him. And Saitama even has a moment where he's like, Genos could take care of himself. Hold on, maybe he can't. Let me go find him. So that's Genos' part in season 2. Garo. Let's talk about Garo real quick. So Garo to me is now one of my favorite anime characters. He's on that list. He's now growing up there because in this season, at first you're just like, okay, he's a cool bad guy. Kind of looks like Bane, but he's a cool design, and he's a hero hunter. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. He's attacking heroes, knocking them out, beating them, getting this win total up, and you're like, okay, well, cool. And then you start getting more of a backstory on him. In certain episodes, things are happening to him where you're getting these backstories on Garo about like how he got to where he is, his mentality as a kid, and his love for monsters because he watched these TV shows, cartoon shows, or shows about heroes, and seen that the monsters mind their own business. You know, hero comes in and just attacks them and like kicks their butt and gets the credit for it. It kind of flips the whole good guy versus bad guy dynamic where you're like, maybe the bad guy just misunderstood. And Garo has that mentality where he's like, I'm just sticking up for people who just want to live their life, and they might be different, but they're getting attacked for what their difference is. And why does nobody ever ask the monster, are they okay? Everybody always cheering the hero, but then watch the hero bully the monster. And that's a really unique way of thinking it. And I was like, huh, I never thought of it that way. I like Garo's character. It's a deeper character than most of the anime characters on One Punch Man, and I freaking love it. And I love what he brings to the table. And I don't want to see him get turned into a monster per se. I just wanted him to have that like talking point, and I'm looking forward to see him and Saitama actually clash against each other. They keep crossing each other throughout this season, where Saitama bumps into Garo, and Garo tries to attack him. Saitama just knocks him out, and he's like, "What the heck happened?" And then the next time, Garo sees King, and Saitama like jumps in and just taps slightly, like side kicks him, and Garo's like, "What once again happened? Who is kicking my butt?" I cannot wait for those two to actually cross each other. But Garo's character and what he stands for and his story arc in this season, love it. And I want to see more of it. I can't wait to see more of it. Then we have Blizzard in this season. Blizzard, when you actually get to see her in season 2 and actually see her interact with, Saitama and Genos, I was looking forward to her being a more of a supporting character in the series. I was looking forward to her to being kind of like the friend of Saitama and Genos and King. She doesn't. She actually just she takes what some of Saitama says to heart, but doesn't really keeps value to it. And then when you see her actually fight later on in season 2, she thinks of Saitama again. And I really want to see where her character goes. She is the younger sister of Tatsumaki, who is Tornado. And Tornado, who's the number 2 hero, S-class ranked hero. You want to see what the dynamic is between Blizzard and her sister. And you want to see if Blizzard can one day step up against Tornado. She says she can't. Tornado's much stronger. That's why she's that way. That's why she'd never be number 1. So Blizzard has a little arc there that we might get touched on. We might not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Mumen Rider's back. Mumen Rider, he's fine. He's still a weak character who's stepping up to stop people no matter what happens. Speed of Sound, Sonic, he's back. He's fine. Metal Bat, it's cool to see more of Metal Bat in season 2. You get to see more of his hard work and his ethic and his determination. But that's pretty much it. He adds a good fight scene to the season. And he has a little sister who pretty much like the strong character who gets pushed around with a little character situation. And when Metal Bat's fighting Garo, his little sister, the reason why the fight stops, and once again it shows that Garo has humanity. He doesn't continue to beat down Metal Bat. He pretty much jumps Metal Bat while Metal Bat is fighting a monster. So Garo has his good and bad points, but he won't attack kids, and that's something it's really cool to me that Garo has that mentality. But Metal Bat's fine. Bang, he's in season 1, season 2, but you don't really get much from him to the very end. It's a little bit up there, and then he finally jumps in, but Bang is cutting loose, and we don't really get much more from him, but a good fight scene. Sirius, who in the martial arts part of this season, which is the part that I really don't enjoy the most, but the martial art part, Sirius is a character who has all the money, strongest fighter in the world, good looks, all that. And Saitama pretty much, Saitama, he knocks him out. But Sirius has a moment where he breaks down, he's asking for somebody for help. He's like, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this myself, I'm gonna die, I need help. Body battered, body broken. And Saitama comes in and rescues him. I wish we'd have got more Sirius background. Wish Sirius was in season 1, and we could have had that storyline with him being the pretentious prick of the good guy, beautiful man, all the women, all the money, all this, the strongest guy in the world, who doesn't learn that lesson. And then when it happens in season 2, when that breakdown happens and he comes to reality and Saitama saves him, it would have hit a lot harder. Mumen Rider had his moment in season 1. But that's because you see him throughout the series doing stuff in season 1. Sirius has it, but he comes in episode 4 or 5, and then it happens towards episode 10 or 9 that moment happens, but it's almost as if like if Sirius was in season 1 and he had that the pompous attitude, pretentious dude, and then in season 2 it breaks out. I feel like his storyline would have been much more better, much more significant. It's a very powerful scene, but it just wasn't. I feel like it could have been executed better. That's what I would say with that. Any other characters? That's pretty much it. The Monster Association, they are there. They pop up and they become like the second piece of season 2, which is like a 2-part story. You have the hero hunter and the Monster Association, but they make an appearance. They're making their moves. They're trying to get humans to become monsters by eating monster cells. Some humans do, some humans don't. But for the most part, they are probably going to get more exposition and plot points in season 3. As of right now, they're just there as the big bad who's like, all right, next season, here we go. We're building it up because Garl's an introduction, more Garl season, and then the Monster Association, who wants Garl to be a part of the association, is there to be like, all right, here we are, we're ready to make our move. Any other thoughts? I didn't mind this season. I thought it was a solid season. The music is still just as good. The music is great. The toning is great. Anticipation is good. I feel like some parts are a little dragged out pacing wise, like the martial arts tournament where we got like 4 or 5 episodes with Saitama pretending to be another character to fight in this tournament. I feel like we didn't need all that. Like, if at the end of the day, did the martial arts tournament really make a difference? Not really. It introduced Sirius, but not really. I guess the Monster Association uses like, okay, we have the strongest people in the world to become monsters, but you could have done that anywhere. Like, it didn't have to be the monster, the tournament, and then you could have shortened the tournament episode by a few. I think we would have been fine. That's it. Other than that, like, some of the pace, like some of the fighting wise, like, we're waiting for Saitama to do something, and then when he finally does something, it happens so quick that you're just like, well, we don't get more of Saitama or him, you know, in his superhero suit talking and breaking stuff down. It's really a Garl season, which I didn't mind Garl, but anytime it cut to the tournament, I was just like, God, okay, can we get this through? Can we get this over with? So that's the tournament section of season 2 is like my probably gripe, and then doing the more cartoony drawings here and there to be like, oh, if people loved it in season 1, let's just throw it more in. Because we love something doesn't mean we need more of something. So now more is a bad thing. Okay, is this a season you should watch? Yeah, sure, watch it. Like, it's a build-up season. I feel like it's a season 3, so definitely watch it. And great time. I'm gonna grade One Punch Man season 2 a B+. It's a B+ for me. I think my nitpick on the martial arts section probably wouldn't bother other people, but also like Genos' character probably wouldn't bother other people. Some of the cartoony drawings, people probably won't get bothered by it. I did. However, like, I love Garl's introduction. I love Garl's story. The animation at certain points was good. I didn't mind it. The CGI with the 3D animation kind of bothered me, but once again, it's okay. It's not as hard hitting and strong as season 2 or season 1. Season 1 did everything much better, and I feel like season 2 they just did more dragging out of bad guys kicking good guys' butt. Saitama comes in, save the day. Like, we know how this works. We've seen it in season 1. You're just doing the same thing in season 2. But we'll see what season 3 looks like. We get to introduce a bunch of characters, a lot of characters. But I do like the fact that we get to see how heroes actually act in season 2. Like, not all of them have an honor code. Some of them are just like, it's a little more gray. And I do like the idea of like, it flips. Not all monsters are bad guys, and not all good guys are good guys. Not all heroes are good guys. I like that. I like that flip and that talking point there. So for me, it gets a B+. If you've seen One Punch Man season 2, what do you think? please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode when we break down Sirius review. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episode of movie breakdowns or grind towards success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of movie breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.